where are we in the current market cycle? How are you thinking about this? How should people be thinking about it?
I'm always bullish.
Me too.
So if you ask me, at the deepest winter in 2019, I'm bullish. 2022, 2023, I was bullish. And if you ask me at the peak, I'm bullish, and then the market goes down, have a correction. And, it's very hard to time the market.
Yeah.
So far, the markets go on 4-year cycles, but it's very hard to tell, if this one is going to be shorter or longer, etc. So, but I think if we take a long view, we're so early. People, when they invest, they're very impatient. Right. So, of course, when I invest, I want to see my money 10x tomorrow. Why not? Right. But the market doesn't work like that. So I think if you're chasing things that are against how this world works, you're going to be always disappointed.
The crypto market has a way of humbling even the smartest investors. Just when you think you've got it figured out, the cycle flips, bull runs fade into brutal winters, only to reignite when least expected. So where are we right now? Stuck in the messy middle, where optimism and uncertainty clash. In a recent conversation with Raoul, Changpeng CZ Zhao reflected on crypto's relentless cycles. The Binance founder admits seeing this story play out before. He admits he'd be bullish even if Bitcoin dropped to zero, but his real insight isn't about blind optimism, it's about perspective. Markets move in rhythms, not straight lines, and trying to time the perfect entry is a fool's game. Corrections happen, hype fades, but if history holds, the patient ones win. The problem? Most people treat crypto like a slot machine, yanking the lever and praying for a jackpot overnight. CZ puts it bluntly, that's not how the world works. The real gains go to those who understand the difference between gambling and building. We're still early. The next cycle isn't just about prices, it's about who's left standing when the noise dies down. So ask yourself, are you here for the quick flip or the long game? Because the market doesn't care which you pick, it just rewards the right one. We will now bring you more clips from CZ's interview with Raoul to gain more insight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for additional in-depth content. Thanks for joining us again. Enjoy the video.
What about the kind of strategic reserves idea as well? Because that's the hot topic people are seeing happening. Talk us through that and what you're hearing.
There's a few countries who are extremely advanced on that topic. I think Bhutan, I believe His Majesty King of Bhutan is actually in the city today. He's an early crypto adopter. He's a very smart guy. They have excess energy, clean energy, hydro energy. So they've been mining Bitcoin for years.
Yeah.
So they have billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin for a very small country. Now they've added Ethereum and BNB to their national reserve. So the early adopters are moving forward. Based on public information, U.S. seems to be using the holding, at least no longer selling the Bitcoin. Some of the OGs like us actually kind of hope that governments will sell their Bitcoin so that other guys can buy them cheaply. But, with this U.S. administration, they're very business savvy. So they understand what's valuable. So now they figure that out. With the U.S., with one of the world's largest economy holding Bitcoin now, or making a crypto reserve, other countries are forced to do it because the later you do it, the more expensive your crypto will be. So so I think we are talking with many countries on advising them how to set up a strategic reserve, and also even very simple stuff, very basic fundamental stuff like what wallet solutions to use. Do you use a professional custody solution, or do you use your own cold wallets? Do you have enough expertise to build that kind of infrastructure, etc. So for most countries, most countries starting amount are not as big as US, right? US have 200,000 Bitcoins or something. For most other countries, when they hold much smaller amount, we actually just recommend them to use a professional custody solution that's multi-sig, right? So no single person can move the money. When they build up to a certain large amount, then they should move to their own cold storage solution. So there's a lot of discussions along those lines.
Where's Europe in this whole equation?
Nowhere.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I don't see Europe in this discussion. Yeah.
No, it's extraordinary.
Yeah.
And because in the end, this technology enables average people to generate wealth, to be involved in a financial system, and Europe's actively blocking them out.
Yeah, I think so far the only actually there's an exception. Montenegro is actually quite pro crypto.
Right.
We have an active dialogue with the prime minister there, and he's a very forward thinking person, leader. So, but other than Montenegro, I don't have any other it's kind of missing on the map.
What gets you excited when you're looking at the crypto markets these days? What innovations, what things are happening that you're like, this is really interesting?
I think the crypto industry. So there's a lot of money flowing around. But they're all chasing short-term gains. So I would like to sort of help the funders to build real products. So I'm a builder myself. I like to see products built that a lot of people use. So I think that's the single most important metric. It's not the token price. It's not everything else. It's just building use cases for people. So this is why I'm actually spending majority of the biggest chunk of my time today is spending on Easy Labs with funders. So talking with funders, looking at different projects, and just trying to help them. There are still many strong funders. It's just that their voice is a bit muffled right now. So I think we got to help those funders to be more vocal, more active, and also more engaging in the community, and help them raise money, help them design proper long-term token economics, etc. So that's where I spend actually quite a lot of my time.
How are you thinking about how AI is going to change even this industry?
Oh yeah,
outside of just developers using AI to write faster code, but
yeah. So I think AI has a lot of use cases. Well, number one is AI, I believe, will completely revamp the user experience, how you interact with blockchain.
UX feels like it's all going to...
It's all going to change, right?
Yeah.
So I think AI has so many different applications that... unfortunately, this industry happened before AI, so we need to change this industry to an AI-enabled industry.
Yeah.
Both in terms of apps we're building, product tools, customer support, risk management, risk monitoring, and also AI itself can use blockchain, right? So I think, as I said, tweeted before, the currency for AI is crypto. AI is not going to swipe a card, enter SMS code. That doesn't work for AI. It's going to be crypto. So, and then AI needs a lot of data to train. Today, they exhausted the public data, but there's a lot of data we don't capture today. Those data can be captured in a privacy-preserving way using blockchain. But if you give those data to a third-party company, then you can't ensure your own data sovereignty. So capturing of data, it logically should be done on the blockchain. But today, it's easier technology-wise to do it on a centralized platform. So we will hope to see that transition happen. And then today, many people, there's so many different AI agents with a token.
Yeah.
But the agents don't have a lot of utility, right?
It's experimentation still right now.
So what I would really want to see is like real agents that have real utility, like that can really help you, that have tokens. So today, there's so many platforms. You go to AI token launch platform, you click a button, you get your own AI with your own name. Takes 3 seconds, and then you have your own token. That token is useless. Well, I would say 99.99999% of those tokens are useless. There may be 1 or 2 for sentimental value, for culture value, for other things. But what we want to see is real AI agents that can do things. Today the big ones like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, etc. Those are real big AIs that can do a lot of stuff. There's smaller AI than those guys that can do a lot of stuff. That video editing, image editing. And I've just seen a demo of an AI literally paying for hotel booking. Today those AI have to go through a website. Hopefully in the future that it should be AI talking to an AI to book that, right? So I think in the future we will see a very heavily automated world. I think I was talking to a fund manager yesterday. They say of 8 billion people in the world, of the data that we generate every day, it's about 300 trillion tokens. Like token meaning not the crypto token, meaning the words for AI tokens. Today, AI is generating about 10% of that today.
Wow.
In the future, though, AI will generate 10 times more than we do. So when we have AI will interacting with each other. There'll be so many exchanges in the tokens, in the word tokens, or in the interactions. And then there will be more commerce. The AI will be trading with each other. They will be paying each other. They will be transacting. They will use crypto.
This whole nexus of AI and crypto is very interesting. The other part of AI that people don't understand yet is if we're not careful, we're going to have 2 or 3 giants and we need decentralization within that industry too. And I think blockchain plays a role in that. Have you any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. So today, the big AI companies use our internet data to train their models, and that happens to be with a few large internet companies, Microsoft, Google, whoever else. But going forward, as I said before, there's a lot of data that we don't store. And now we're going to be smarter about how we store our data. So they should be stored in a permission way that we only allow access when we want to, and we should be able to monetize out of it. So your health data, you can be anonymized and then used to train different AIs. Every interaction you have, every thought you have, etc. If you want to, you should be able to digitize that, blockchain, tokenize it, and then be able to monetize it. So in the future, I think and also we're seeing I think we'll give credit to the first few centralized platforms that have the scale to innovate. But once the industry is proven, then the decentralization will happen. We've seen that with DeepSeek. They open source their model, and now everyone can use that at a fraction of the cost. So I think we're going to see more and more of that coming. So I think the future is going to be quite decentralized.
Bitcoin has just surged to a record-breaking $112,000, with ETF inflows playing a pivotal role in driving this momentum. This sharp rise, followed by a slight retracement to $110,700, marks a remarkable 19% increase over just the past week. The surge to new all-time highs signals more than just market excitement. It highlights the growing institutional demand for Bitcoin and the rising profits without a corresponding sell-off. This shift isn't just a flash in the pan, it's a structural change in the crypto landscape. Bitcoin is no longer merely an alternative asset, it's rapidly becoming a benchmark. A perfect storm of institutional inflows, corporate balance sheet allocations, and macroeconomic dislocations are converging, pointing to Bitcoin's increasing mainstream adoption. This was further confirmed when $1 billion worth of Bitcoin was withdrawn from Coinbase in May, a sign of the expanding institutional appetite for the digital asset. Looking ahead, experts predict that Bitcoin could reach $200,000 by 2025, with the potential to soar even higher, potentially nearing $500,000 if the US government refrains from intervening. Bitcoin's long-term trajectory is even more astonishing, with forecasts suggesting a $1 million target by 2029 as its market cap rivals that of gold. With Bitcoin now firmly embedded in institutional portfolios, this bull run may just be the beginning of a much larger rally. Let's watch more clips from the interview.
Yeah, it's also interesting because crypto's the fastest moving industry most of us had ever seen until AI came along, and now it's multiplied the whole thing.
Yeah, so that's normal though. Every new industry is going to be faster than the previous one. So internet develops so much faster than traditional industries. But with blockchain now we have internet. So we can develop so much faster than internet companies. So I think Binance is probably the first company to reach $1 billion in profits, from startup to $1 billion in profit. But that's because we had the internet and then we had the blockchain. And then AI companies are now post blockchain. So now if they do it well, they can easily monetize. They can easily use distributed token economics. And they should be able to grow much faster.
So let's give CZ's advice on coming into the industry from new, what to do, what not to do.
Sure. I think the fundamental thing is there's no magic bullet. There's no magic formula. Stick with fundamentals. Don't get too excited. When people say, look, this project's really hard. If you don't buy it this minute, then you're gonna miss it. Don't go for that. Just stick with fundamentals. What happens in traditional investing in traditional markets is the same thing that happens here. You should look at fundamentals. You should look at projects. You should play with the product. You should believe it. You should understand it, and then don't follow advices just because. Don't buy just because you saw somebody tweet about something on Twitter, right? So don't just follow blindly. Don't invest in a large number of tokens or coins. Play with 3 or 5 that you can understand deeply, so that you know if they're good or not. If you don't understand, don't invest. And then for the builders, again, fundamentals, right? So don't try to raise a big amount. That's not the benchmark. The benchmark is 5 years from now. How many users do you have? What's your valuation 5 years from now? So look at product market fit, build prototypes, test it. If it doesn't work, pivot. If it works, then scale. Right. So just know there's nothing magical. Everybody comes into crypto thinking that the crypto somehow is different. It's not.
It's a bit more volatile.
Yeah, so like you see very often, right? Many people who are not traditional stock traders, they come to crypto, they become active traders. Doesn't work. Crypto is no different from if you do day trading, it's the same everywhere. It's just different asset type. There's some guys who are like entrepreneurs in traditional internet, well, not traditional, just internet tech fields. They come into crypto somehow. They want to do it. They want to do something very different. There's nothing different. Crypto does help you raise money more easily. It's a very effective fundraising tool. But still, the fundamentals apply. You got to have product market fit. You got to have a strong product that people use. So all of those things still apply. So there's nothing too magical about this magic internet money kind of industry. There's nothing magical about it. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of basics, a lot of fundamentals.
And what do you think is going to have higher returns? VC in the space or liquid tokens? Because it's actually very hard for anybody to build a business and beat Bitcoin's returns. It's phenomenally hard to do.
Yeah.
How do you think about that?
Yeah, so it's very hard to outrun Bitcoin. I think there's only a few projects that have kind of outrun Bitcoin for a period of time. In the industry, if you're industry for any period of time, you say, look, instead of investing in crypto projects, just buy Bitcoin and hold. Much less work. But even as a crypto OGs like myself, I invest in many, many new projects. We have to do that to grow the industry. And there are projects that have outright...
Probably be richer if you hadn't.
Actually, no. I think BNB have outrun Bitcoin so far in its existence.
Yeah.
Ethereum probably has as well.
Yeah.
Even though I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about Ethereum.
Doge has.
Even Doge has, which is crazy, right? So there are a few projects that outperform Bitcoin, but those are a small number. But I do think that they all continue to be new projects that will outperform Bitcoin, but they're very small in number, and also they start at a much smaller market cap. Right, so it's easy to, if you look at the multiples, they can go higher. But if they reach to the size of the Bitcoin today, they will slow down too. It's much harder to grow a large market cap than a small one. So it depends on your risk appetite, risk profile, on what you want to invest in. But I do think there are still many good opportunities. But it's true that if you want the least amount of work with very good returns, just buy the top few tokens, you're in good shape. I think what we've seen is that this cycle so far has been ETFs. Yeah. So U.S. institutional money going to ETFs, and those money go to Bitcoin because the Bitcoin ETF is the biggest. So in that regard, Ethereum didn't go up that much, right? Because the money's kind of stuck with Bitcoin. But what's good for Bitcoin is good for other crypto. Eventually the money will disperse. When they're in an ETF, they usually take longer because the institutions for them to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum to other altcoins will take a bit longer. But what we've seen, and I still believe that 100% is Bitcoin is usually the first crypto that people interact with when they come to crypto. That's the first one they learn. That's the most stable. That's the most decentralized, etc. And that's the biggest market cap. But once the money is in crypto, they will eventually explore other things, right? So it will come. So I think we're still quite early. I think we're still in. If we go by 4-year cycles, it should be end of this year. Right. But we don't know for sure.
And do you think because of where we are in the network adoption, that growth has slowed down yet in Bitcoin, or do you think we're actually early? Because there's an argument or discussion going on where we are on the adoption curve and our returns coming down. I don't think they are, but what do you think?
I don't think they are. I think we're just getting started. So, I think right now there's a handful of countries that's talking to me about blockchain adoption. And most other countries, I don't see anything going on. So out of 200 countries, even there's 12 countries that are just starting, right? So US is just starting. So ETFs is only like the last, a few months, right? So everything's just starting. I think people, when they invest, they're very impatient, right? So of course, when I invest, I want to see my money 10x tomorrow. why not, right? But the market doesn't work like that. I think in this world, we got to understand how the world works. Money takes time to build, and what's good for Bitcoin is good for crypto, and you will filter to other things. So, and it will take time. As long as we understand the right time horizons, then you can set your expectations correctly, and then everything will make sense.
So your overall summary is just hold on, be patient,
pretty much.
Don't mess it up,
Yeah.
and if you can, build something important and do it with a mission.
Pretty much, yeah.
And use AI while you're doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin is on a tear, and the crypto world is feeling the rush. Over the past 2 days, trading volumes for both spot and futures exchanges have skyrocketed as Bitcoin surged to new all-time highs, creating a frenzy of activity. Spot trading volume for Bitcoin hit a staggering $150 billion over just 2 days, the highest it's been in nearly 2 months, according to CoinMarketCap. Also, Bitcoin futures saw an eye-popping $203 billion in trading volume on Wednesday, making it the third highest daily total of 2025, as reported by CoinGlass. This explosive surge in trading volume coincides with Bitcoin's price climbing to nearly $112,000, hovering just under $111,100 at press time. In the last 24 hours alone, Bitcoin gained 2%, and in the past week, it has nearly climbed 8%. Investors are buoyed by positive macroeconomic signals and growing confidence in Bitcoin as a hedge against the potential weakening of the US dollar. The crypto market's rebound has been fueled by Trump easing up on his global trade war stance, alongside favorable inflation readings. Bitcoin's record-breaking ascent is further amplified by increasing demand for Bitcoin ETFs and the ongoing buying spree by publicly traded firms like Strategy and Metaplanet. With Strategy now holding a jaw-dropping 576,000 Bitcoin, valued at over $64.5 billion, the momentum is only gaining steam. Bitcoin is not just rising, it's rewriting the rules. As we wrap up, what's the one crypto lesson you've learned the hard way? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.